Are we good to start?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Samana Hassan, and I hope you all have had a wonderful start to your week. It's not been a very hectic but productive Monday. So, before we go on to the actual agenda for today, that's the workshop Product Development 101 with Ms. Faiza Yusuf. I would like to tell you a little about Code Girls once again. I know the audience has become familiar with the program, they know about it. Among you, I mean, the participants in the workshop today, you all know, but the people who might watch it later live, or they might watch it later after some time, so they need to know a little. At Code Girls, we're not just some around the corner IT institute. We don't believe in mass training people without really understanding what they need or what are the market requirements. We prefer to cater to the niche segment of women who are looking to become coders, who are looking to become technologists, and more so to address the gap that exists between the market and academia. So it's a painful process, but and it requires a lot of evolution on an ongoing basis. Our program structure has evolved, it has changed throughout the journey. We've been there since 2018, and in the last 4 years, it's been uh, very hectic, I would say, but also a very, you know, it's been a journey that's paid well. We are glad to see the graduates of the program working in the industry, and there's nothing more you know happy, what makes us more happy or satisfied. So TechFest is one such initiative where we think that by means of competitions and a hackathon, we can make people think creatively and also prove their skills, showcase their skills in a big network of people from academia and industry. At TechFest, we have 4 competitions and a hackathon with themes focused on challenges faced by women in their private and public lives, including skill building, access to opportunities, community building, health, wellness, and financial inclusion. So the string of these 4 workshops, and the final one of which we are going to be having today, was meant to groom and you know make the girls who are going to be participating in these in the hackathon ready, and so that everyone has an equal opportunity at this platform. So if someone's coming from a background where they have had an exposure and someone's coming from a background where they have not had an exposure, they both come to the competition, to the hackathon, with equally being equally equipped. Without taking any more of your time, I'm going to introduce Ms. Faiza Yusuf. She is the very own co-founder of Code Girls, founder of Women in Tech PK, a very famous community among women, senior product manager Genetic Solutions, and co-founder and CTO Caterpillars. Ms. Faiza, welcome and peace. From here, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Samana. Let me just share my screen so that all of you can see it. Can you see my screen
Yes.
with the slide deck on it? Okay, great, great. Um, thank you so much everyone for joining us. I can see a bunch of participants in the call also. Welcome. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, but first we're going to go through the whole idea of telling you how to think about a product when you're competing in the hackathon. So we all know why we are here. We are here for the TechFest 2022. We are basically hosting a lot of women, giving them the opportunity to compete against each other and work together, and also showcase their skill set and network and find opportunities and so on and so forth. So for the hackathon, we have focused it, or we have made it women centric. So So the challenges that women generally face in their public and private lives. So skill building, access to work and education opportunity, commute, lack of community, health and wellness, financial inclusion, mass transit, workplace safety. So all of these areas are basically part of the hackathon. You will pick one or multiple of these themes and think about a problem and then propose a solution that you want to solve. So hackathon is for women who are basically who understand all of these problems by heart, because they are most of the time facing the same problems. So we basically want not other people to solve problems for us, but basically work for these problems ourselves. So when we talk about the general software development process, so what happens is that um, a software product development process basically. So we have a product idea generation. We think about a product, we collect requirements, we build a design, we do product development, we do integration and testing, we do deployment, and we do maintenance. So this is something that happens when you go somewhere and say that you want to build a product, and they help you generate an idea and do all the rest of the stuff for you. But when it comes to competing in a hackathon, and when it comes to solving a real life problem, the idea generation part is not enough. You need to expand on it to actually understand what you're solving, and if it's something that you can make sustainable, it is something that you can make scalable. If you understand the assumptions, if you have data, a lot of these things are included in that. So because you will be presenting your idea, a prototype or whatever in the hackathon, we'll talk a little bit about the things that you need to add to kind of make sure that the judges understand what you're solving. So initially we do idea generation, we then do screening. So there will be a lot of ideas. So non-feasible ideas would be something that you can't afford to build right now, or for it, or there could be a million other reasons why you do not think that the idea is feasible right now. Then you basically select those ideas, turn them into concepts, then you think about the marketplace, then you of course do product development, and then the business strategies are tested in your test market, and then your product is introduced in the market. So that's the general idea of how startups think about products when they are talking about developing a product. So we use multiple ways when it comes to product development. You must have heard a lot of different terms. One is we call it lean model. So what you do is that you have a lot of ideas, you build them, you code them, you measure them, you basically collect data from it, and then you learn from it, and then you go back to the idea part. Umama, if you have any questions, I can take them once we go through the slide deck. So you can put it in the chat, and I will get back to you shortly. Then one best methodology that I use a lot and I think about a lot is design thinking. So it's a 5-stage process. This is something really important when you are competing in a hackathon, and that is you empathize with the person that you're solving the problem for. So in our case, we are basically asking ourselves to empathize with ourselves and understand what exactly are we facing, why are we facing it, why is it happening, why is transportation such a big issue for women in Pakistan, for example, or why is why women face issues with opening up a bank account, for example, or why don't they have a lot of opportunities that are safe when it comes to work opportunities. So these are the questions that you ask when you are empathizing, and then you basically define it. So you talk about in a way that okay, so it's expensive, affordability is an issue, so how we can make it more affordable. For example, another angle would be that we say that women in Pakistan do not take public transport or not want to take public transport because it's unsafe. Then safety is an issue, and we define it, and then we go from there. And of course, you can take multiple challenges and think about multiple ways to solve a problem. Then we talk about ideate. So once, for example, you have understood that maybe security is an issue, or affordability is an issue, or access is an issue, or societal norms are an issue, for example, then you go through the ideation process to kind of think about ideas in which you can solve this problem. And then on those ideas, you build a prototype and then you test it. When we talk about prototype, I'm not talking about a running product. In a lot of cases, you can just test run it by showing a bunch of screens to people, talking to people, a landing page, a lot of other ways for you to just quickly get user feedback and understand that the direction in which you are thinking is right. But if you can build a prototype, prototype and MVP are two different things. So if you can just build a prototype and users can take a look at it and go through it and give you feedback, that is also amazing. The test part is what you basically do is to see if you put that prototype out in the world and show it to people. Do they like it? Do they think it solves the problem or not? So so the challenges that we have talked about, for example, mental health is an issue for a lot of women. Postpartum depression is an issue for a lot of women. Access to microloans is an issue for women. So a lot of different things that are there. Menstrual hygiene is a problem. Reproductive health is a problem. When it comes to childcare, that's also a problem. Do they find enough daycare centers? Do they find enough people to take care of their children? So there will be a lot of problems that you face in your daily life, or you see people doing that, and then you start thinking about empathizing with the person who's facing the problem, then defining the problem, and then go from there. There is a possibility at define stage or at ideate stage, you understand that, okay, so I do not think that's working out. Do not want to get into it, you go back to the empathize stage and start from scratch. So, feasibility of, and I talk about adding blockchain to anyone, or AI or ML, for example, but technology exists right now, so on and so forth. So there are a lot of questions around it, and how quickly you can build a prototype. That is a very, very important question. So when you are competing in the hackathon, there are a few questions that all the judges are going to ask you. And we expect these questions to be part of the pitch deck that you create. I'm listing all of these questions down, and we are going through each question one by one so that you understand the concept of it, and there is no issue when it comes to you presenting it and you having no understanding exactly what is happening to you. So we are going to give you a template that you need to basically use, or you can maybe pick it up and use it as it is, or you can build your own template out of it. But a bunch of questions that you need to answer when you are pitching a solution is very important. So we will start with the first question, and that is, what exactly are you solving? So what is the problem, and who's facing that problem? Is this a problem, is this a problem for a specific demographic? Is this a problem for a specific geographic location? Is this a problem for, a certain gender, a certain age group? What exactly is the problem? What is it causing? That is, so is it causing discomfort? Is it causing lost revenue? Is it causing frustration? Is it causing safety issues? Whatever that may be. So we are going to drill down on that. So you can't just say that I have built an app for this. No, we are not talking about an app. We are actually talking about, what are you solving? What is the problem that you have addressed by app? App is just a means to an end, right? The actual problem is what we are interested in knowing. The second is, what is our proposed solution? So what are you proposing? What do you think about it? How do you think about it? So is your solution tech-based or non-tech-based? Is it a complete offering with tech and non-tech components? So for example, you offer group therapy, for example, via an app. So app is one part of it, but finding therapists that conduct group therapy sessions and moderating them is the non-tech side of things, and that is, of course, all of it is part of your offering. So you need to think about your proposed solution in that aspect also. Then exactly your complete offering, tech and non-tech components, what is going to happen, what kind of customer support is going to be there, what kind of customer relationships you will you will be taking care of. Will you be talking to people yourself? Is it just going to be automated emails? Is it just going to be social media? Will you be taking users input, how involved your user is in the process of it, so on and so forth. So these are the things that you need to think about. What is your business model? So is it a subscription based service that people are paying monthly? Is it a service that is freemium, so some features are available for free, others are paid? Is it a service that is that has a perpetual license, which means that you buy it once and you use it forever? So for example, I can give you a lot of examples. So when we talk about Asana, for example, Asana is a project management tool or a collaboration tool. They work on freemium model. So there is a free offering and then there are premium offerings. Then we have apps that have free trials. So for example, Audible. You go to Audible, you get like a 30-day free trial, and then after that you need to buy it. So that is a free trial type of thing. Again, subscription based model, types of subscription based model. Then you talk about perpetual license, in which you have bought something for months and then it's forever yours. So a lot of operating systems were like that, that you bought a license for once and it's yours forever. Scrivener is an app for writers. If you're writing fiction, it does that. You buy the license and it's yours forever. Your model. Then there are some models that are transaction based. So for example, if you talk about Kareem is transaction based. Every time you take a ride, a certain percentage of that amount of money goes to Kareem. So that is transaction based, way of making money. So, and then also in subscription model, you can talk about subscription on per seat, which means per user, subscription per MB of GB of data that they are utilizing, or number of projects that they are uploading to some place, or number of entries that they are making. So you can drill it down and make a very, very good business model out of it. But you need to be really clear that whatever you have thought as your business model, do you have do you have the clear understanding of it, and a company in the future? Because even if you never kind of launch the idea in real life, these questions will be asked to see how much you have think it through, how much you have put your thought into it, so on and so forth. And there is a reason that we have given the challenges to you early on. You know about the challenges so that you start thinking about these things. So who are your target customers? Now this is very, very important to know about your target customer, because your target customer means age profiles, gender profiles, demographics, other demographics, geographical location, what kind of income do they have, are they married people, unmarried people, are they parents or children or whatever. So there's going to be a lot of classifications into that. So if you come and say that, for example, I have built a fintech solution, or I have built a mental health solution that is for everyone, but the question is, can everyone afford it? uh, can someone who's working at, can a homeless person use it, for example? Will they be able to understand it? Will they have access to a phone, so on and so forth? So you need to think about those things. People who will be interested in the solution, who are affected by the problem, and who have the affordability to pay for it, are the main questions that you need to answer. We would recommend you building user personas or think about it in detail. Formats will be given to you. You can still, I'm telling you about the formats of business analyst model, user personas. You can Google those things and learn how to make them. Then who are our competitor? You have not looked enough, looked hard enough, right? The reason being that if this problem already exists, there is some way that people are solving that problem. So um, for example, before Excel, right? If Excel, when Excel came, or a spreadsheet came, for example, and they say that we don't have any competitors, we are the first Excel sheet software. No, but the problem was being solved by a notebook and a pen. or a pencil or a ledger. So there are ways in which people are already solving that problem, and you need to bring a lot of people, not from that part, like from other app to your app, but also people who do not use any app or do not use a solution or do not use a technical advancement product, and you need to bring them to your product also. So there's going to be a barrier. So if someone says that my problem is being solved by not spending money in this way, but you are asking me for money, why should I come to you? And then you need to understand other app or the other person that you think about, but rather the whole mindset and the currently existing solutions that are already there. And in that case, it means solution doesn't give speed, not feeling stuck, for example, community, prestige. There could be a lot of things that your solution is giving the user that their current existing solution is not, and you need to tap into that. And again, what is our unique selling proposition? So if, for example, you say that I'm building an app like Kareem, for example. So we have seen Kareem. I'm giving example of Kareem or Uber because almost everybody has used them. Everybody knows about them. Almost everybody knows about them. So Kareem ads out there. Uh, they are also a ride hailing app, but they have a unique selling proposition, and that is that you decide the rent before you start the ride. So in Kareem, it tells you an estimated fare that you are going to be charged at the end of the ride, and the fare can change depending upon, where have you gone, and of course, how much traffic there was, what was the waiting time, so on and so. If was there a peak factor, for example, so on and so forth. So in InDriver, you can basically just set the fare initially, and then no matter how much traffic is on the way, you will be charged the same fare. And another thing with Kareem was that you can call a ride without adding, a destination. But in InDriver, you need to add a destination. So, unique selling propositions, same, they do the same job. But they understood that people are frustrated because of one part of, the existing solution. So they have brought a USP to this, and then a lot of people are adopting the new platform that is there. Then we'll talk about what are assumptions. What are we assuming about people? What are we assuming about the solution? What are we assuming about the problem space? So whatever assumptions, that whatever you think, for example, you say, I've heard that or I've seen that. Again, it's an assumption. There is no data of that problem or the scalability of the solution, for example. So we need to list down all of our assumptions. That again, we are not going to ask what your assumptions are and how are you going to solve this in the presentation, but you may be asked that, for example, we ask you that how are you assuming that the user is going to pay, for example, this much in a year or in a month. Is that your assumption? Do you actually know about it? Do you have any data to back it up, so on and so forth? So think about your assumptions very, very clearly, so you know what you don't know. That's the whole goal of it. Then what are your open questions? There will be a lot of open questions, no matter who you are. Whatever you are building, if it's dependent on people, there will be open questions around that. There will be open questions around tech. Do I think whatever I'm trying to build, is it possible in certain technology, certain framework? How many people do I need to buy? How much money do I need to build that? Um, what level of MVP is required to test on the idea, for example? So these are open questions. Again, this is a thinking exercise for you. No one is going to ask you to list down all your open questions there on at the day of the hackathon. But again, this is a thinking exercise for you to basically drill down on that idea and really, really think hard about it. And then, of course, what data do we have? This is a question that people are going to ask in the hackathons. You need to be prepared. So stats you need to find online, stats you need to find anywhere there are, but make sure that you have, the sources of the stats or some references to basically prove that the data you are giving is correct. I would really recommend that mention some current statistics in the problem space when you are the solution space, when you are explaining either your problem statement or your value proposition or whatever, that this is the size of the problem, this is how the market look. If there's a market landscape that you can bring in, that would be amazing. If you can do a quick comparator analysis, that would be amazing. So something that tells the judges that you have actually looked into data to verify your thoughts or your ideas. So that was it. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. Reach out to me Twitter, my website, or email, and then I'll just stop answer. Ji. Mama, I think you raised your hand. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can type that in, you can unmute yourself, whatever works for you.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि मेरा जो सोल्यूशन है वो टैग और नॉन बेस्ड टेक और नॉन टैग दोनों को बेस करता हुआ है। ठीक है, मेरे सोल्यूशन में मोबाइल ऐप एक मॉड्यूल है उस सोल्यूशन का। कंप्लीट सोल्यूशन ऐप पे बेस नहीं करता। तो मुझे ऐप दिखानी है, ऐप का प्रोटोटाइप दिखाना है या पीपीटी दिखानी है, मुझे ये थोड़ा सा क्लियर करना है।
हाँ, सो जो आपके डिलीवरेबल्स रन अस डाउन थ्रू द होल ऑफरिंग, इसके अंदर आपने क्वेश्चन देखा what are your offerings. तो जो complete time if app is just a component of it, जो आप जिस दिन आएंगे उस दिन आपको हमें एक पिच डेक प्रेजेंट करना पड़ेगा प्लस अ प्रोटोटाइप यू विल बी शोइंग अस, चाहे वो प्रोटोटाइप हो, चाहे वो वायर फ्रेम्स हो, चाहे वो बेसिक स्केचेस हो, व्हाटएवर यू हैव इन माइंड. We just need to make sure, and we will be making sure that you have think it through and you have visualized it and you have some kind of work to show for it. Does it answer your question, Mama? Okay, so my voice was interrupting. Let me just, I'm turning off my video so that you can hear me well. I'm saying that you need to show us both the pitch deck, A, and B, the prototype, or the wireframes that you have. So the solution is a complete offering that must have a tech component. तो आपके पास एक ऐप है, so आप हमें pitch deck भी दिखाएंगी उसका पूरा, ठीक है, उसी तरह जैसे हम आपको जो फॉर्मेट देंगे उस फॉर्मेट की बेसिस के ऊपर, एंड देन आप हमें जो भी आपने प्रोटोटाइप या जो बनाया है वो आप हमें दिखाएंगे. अब आपको आवाज आई है?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
You are welcome. बाकी जो हमारे पास कुछ लोग हैं in the call, do they have any questions? Samana, if you have any questions that we have received from any of the participants or anyone, please go ahead.
Okay, there have not been any specific questions.
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. जी जी.
There had not been any specific questions regarding the deliverables or the tools that they can use. लेकिन ये जरूर था कि the girls have been sharing their ideas और जहाँ पे wherever I can guide them that this seems substantial amount of work that you're going to be putting in और ये idea जो है वो इतना develop हो सकता है, so I guide them. And I feel that maybe you or Ms. Shamim or any of the other workshop trainers जो mentors हमारे साथ थे last 3 workshops से वो बेहतर guide कर सकते हैं. I always ask them कि they should put up their questions in the meeting, but I don't know, maybe the girls feel shy.
ठीक है,
What
no
we
worries at all.
what we
We
expect
can definitely clarify. जी जी.
what we expect from the hackathon participants is कि वो कुछ ना कुछ brainstorming करके आ रहे होंगे, right, on the day. So it's not like they're coming completely clear headed at that point. अगर आपको आपका कोई आइडिया है या अभी आप कुछ सोच रहे हैं, तो यू कैन ऑलवेज गेट अ फीलर अबाउट इट.
There is, again, absolutely correct. So there's a reason that we have already shared the challenges with them so that they can start thinking about it. There's a reason that we are talking about what are we going to ask them in the judgment, because doing it, like thinking about a whole solution in like 4 or 5 hours, that's not enough time. It takes founders like, months and months and weeks of work to think things through. Mama, the presentation time is going to be 15 minutes, 10 minutes for presentation and 5 minutes for Q&A. So a pitch deck and both wireframes or prototype, whatever you have.
Okay, मेरा एक और question है.
G, go ahead.
Am I audible to you?
Yes.
Hello.
G, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, Mama, are you there?
I don't know if she's on the call or not. Anyway, uh, if she has any questions, you can direct them to me, Samana, or you already all. You can just send them my way. And should we call it off?
Yes, I can definitely share the
Yeah.
questions with you. I can share when, as and when they send me, and I do keep sending the questions your way. So yeah, I think अगर कोई और questions नहीं है, we are good to end the call.
Okay, I think Mama is back. Gio, Mama, go ahead.
थैंक यू. मुझे बस ये पूछना था कि जो आपने टूल्स बताए हैं हम जो यूज कर सकते हैं, वो मुझे एक दफा रिपीट कर दें या चैट पे लिख दें तो मैं उसको रिवाइज कर लूँ, लाइक मुझे पता हो, बिकॉज इंटरनेट इंटरप्ट हो रहा था.
इसके अंदर कोई टूल्स तो नहीं है. आप वायर फ्रेम्स या प्रोटोटाइप जिस पे भी बनाना चाहें आप
जी.
उस पे बना सकते हैं. पिच डेक के लिए हम आपको फॉर्मेट उसी टाइम पे दे देंगे. बिजनेस मॉडल कैनवस है जो ऑफ कोर्स आप आइडिया सोच रही हैं तो आपने बनाया हुआ ही होगा. आप उसको थोड़ा सा रिफाइन करेंगी. And then the second thing would be to work on a pitch deck presentation. उसका भी जो अभी मैंने आपको सवाल बताए हैं यही सारे सवाल होंगे उसके अंदर भी. तो you'll be working on that. So there is a I wanted to discuss these all with you first to make sure that you guys are aware, and because there is going to be a shorter amount of time, so you can prepare yourself. So prototype किसी भी टूल पिच डेक आप स्लाइड पे बना लें, पावर पॉइंट पे बना लें, किसी चीज पे भी बना लें. और जो है उसके अंदर आप जो मेन चीज हमें रिक्वायर्ड है वो बिजनेस मॉडल कैनवस है.
ओके, परफेक्ट, थैंक यू.
ठीक है. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Samana.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you, Ms. Faiza.
Bye.